What's good, y'all? Michael here today for another video. Before we get go subscribe and hit that like button for more daily upload videos. This will probably be my last video tonight. I just got done with my live stream of Among the Sleep. I don't know how long that will take before it drops, but but now it's game time. I'm gonna put away the time for talk is over. It's time to play. That's all I'm going to say for this entire video. That's actually going to be the quote of the title. The time for talk is over. It's time to play. Now, understand something. You do notice Mitch Trubisky hasn't been talked about on the media. They don't want to bring up how he threw 3 amazing throws that ended up in touchdowns. That Jimmy Graham caught that ball like it was nothing. That first touchdown was thrown to Jimmy Graham. Jimmy Graham caught that ball like it was nothing, and he was bodied. He was getting hugged by that defender. He still caught it like it was nothing. Jimmy Graham is still. I spoke with the Windy City guy about this. Shout out to him, by the way. He said even though it's easy to say Jimmy Graham is washed. It's easy to say that, but he still can body DBs. We've seen him do that in the past. So whenever I see Jimmy Graham body defenders in the red zone and he can still catch that ball, it's something that he couldn't do in Green Bay. What we saw from Jimmy Graham catching balls in the red zone is something that we couldn't see in Green Bay. Now, what bothers me is this. The only tight end that was active against the Lions was Jimmy Graham. Cole Clement was only good blocking. We're gonna probably see him more tomorrow. Demetrius Harris should have caught that touchdown, but that means more work. What bothers me is this: nobody wants to talk about how good Mitch looked. All they want to talk about is how he got lucky because Deion Swift dropped that game winner. No one wants to talk about that. No one wants to say how good he did. Even though if you look at the highlights and if you study film like I'll do on every single game this season, well, I most likely will do, I am most likely going to be doing that, and you can see how confident he looked. That offensive line only gave up 1 sack, and he fumbled the ball, but it was recovered by us. He only got sacked 1 time so that tells you that the Lions it's either that Detroit's defense sucks or the offensive line is improved. So does Detroit's defense make our offensive line look good? Is that the question we're talking about? Is that what we're talking about? Is the reason? Because here's the thing. I'm going to get to the second touchdown by Jamal Williams. Statistically, Jimmy Graham should have had 2 touchdowns, but the referees would. Statistically, Jimmy Graham would have had 2 touchdowns if it wasn't for the referees not marking him short. We still got that touchdown. Mitch threw a beauty dart in the end zone. It was a red zone touchdown and was caught by Jamal Williams. He found his man and he threw it. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And the interception by Kyle Fuller that got batted up in the air by Jalen Johnson, and that was low-key called by Kyle Fuller. Kyle Fuller would have just let the ball drop. But Kyle Fuller wanted to say, nah, the ball isn't going to go up and not get caught by somebody. Kyle Fuller snatched the ball out of air like snatching a heart out of somebody and crushing it right in front of them. Rambo style. Yeah. And that was a good movie, by the way. Let me put it to you this way. What we saw from Mitch last Sunday was not what Jay Cutler would have done. Because the media wants you to think is that the Bears are the worst organization of all time. They want you to think that the Bears are the Browns, where all they do is have these quarterbacks and they don't wind up being good. But the Browns had more mediocre quarterbacks than any other franchise. The Browns are going to move on from Baker Mayfield. I know he won a game against the Bengals, but eventually they're going to move on from Baker because the new GM and the new head coach, they're not going to tolerate it. And that's what bothers me. I'll be disappointed if we lose to Danny Dimes tomorrow. I will be disappointed, you know. Going up against the New York Giants should be a winnable game. Even with Robert Quinn coming back, with the three-man rule being active, with Akeem Hicks, Khalil Mack, and Robert Quinn. Khalil Mack was limited 3 days, and he said he was going to play, and I'm taking his word for it. There was barely any games that Khalil Mack didn't play. The only time Khalil Mack was ever out with an injury was 2018, and we still won 2 games without him. Now, I'm not sure if it was because Vic Fangio defense was good, or was the fact we were playing the Jets and the Buffalo Bills. But either way, we still went 2 games without him, and that's the whole thing. I'm trying to ask you this. The only problem we had last year was the only guy that kept getting open all the damn time was Allen Robinson. Because even Trubisky even admitted that Allen Robinson, he wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Allen Robinson. He literally praised Allen Robinson, and he should know that he's the reason why Trubisky can keep his job. Because most of Trubisky throws that we've seen over the past year have been caught by Allen Robinson. There were some times where Allen Robinson got double teamed and still made a catch. There was a time where we didn't have Mitch that game. It was against the Giants, and we had Chase Daniel, and he caught the ball on somebody's helmet. That's what I'm saying. Even Trubisky gave Allen Robinson credit because he's the reason why he's still the quarterback, and he's the reason why he didn't get benched. So what I'm telling you is this: when Jay Cutler was the quarterback, all Bears fans wanted to do was be positive. All Bears fans wanted to do was saying, "Oh, Jay Cutler will get hurt." No, not. Jay Cutler will eventually get better. Jay Cutler will be an elite talented quarterback like he was in Denver. The last time the Bears had a competent quarterback, an average quarterback, was 2010 when we traded for Jay Cutler and Brandon Marshall. Now that Jay Cutler is gone, they want to be negative. That's what bothers me, is Chicago teams can do no right. Now, getting to the Chicago Bulls, the Bulls haven't won a championship since Michael Jordan was on the team. When Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and Dennis Rodman was on the team, they haven't won shit since. The only dream team the Bulls have had in the past decade was 2011 with Derrick Rose and Jimmy Butler. We got rid of Derrick Rose because he was too injury prone. We got rid of Jimmy Butler because he was a problem. He was a locker room problem. Now Jimmy Butler is going to win is most likely going to win the NBA Finals with the Miami Heat. And now, do you want to know why that bothers me? That bothers me is because we traded him. We traded him because he was a locker room problem. Because that's what Jimmy Butler does. That's why he got traded. He got traded out of the Timberwolves. That's why he got traded out, is because he was a locker room problem. Now Jimmy Butler is addicted to work. He's kind of like Trubisky, addicted to work. But Trubisky doesn't like to call out players. Jimmy Butler does. Jimmy Butler doesn't mind calling out players and calling them trash. He ain't like that. Seeing Jimmy Butler right now, he's only lost 1 game, and that was against the Milwaukee Bucks. He's only lost 1 game. And you want to know why that bothers me? Is because if could we imagine what Zach LaVine and Jimmy Butler would have done if we just traded somebody else for Zach LaVine to the Timberwolves instead of Jimmy Butler? Could we imagine that? We re-signed Dwayne Wade. Could we imagine that? The Chicago hasn't. The Blackhawks can do no right. The Blackhawks just made it into the postseason. They only won one game against the Las Vegas Golden Knights, I think it was called, because I don't really pay attention to hockey. So, because the media, we Chicago teams can do no right. The Cubs haven't won a series, the World Series, for a long time, and they just won it 4 years ago. I'm a Sox fan, and they haven't won the World Series since the year I was born, which was 2002, I think. And I didn't even know what sports it was. Now what the Bears are trying to do are being underdogs. I love being underdogs. I love being underrated. I love being underperformed. Because you want to know why I love it? It's because at the end of the day, we're going to be laughing at you. You're laughing at us right now, but at the end of the day, we're going to be laughing at you. Because the only problem I see with the defense is Danny Trevathan. Danny Trevathan is either got to step up or he needs to be cut. I'm high on Chuck Pagano, but I know Bears fans are missing Vic Fangio. I miss Vic Fangio too. I would take Vic Fangio back in a heartbeat if it was up to me, if he was available right now. But Chuck Pagano is still doing a decent amount of job. Is he doing better than Vic Fangio ever did? No, he's not. But all I'm saying is what Chuck Pagano's doing right now is what Vic Fangio's been doing for the past years that he's been on the Bears. Chuck Pagano isn't worse where we got massacred by the – y'all remember that Sunday Night Football game where Aaron Rodgers threw 6 touchdowns against us in Lambeau Field and we got massacred, and our literary owner was literally in her room and she was pissed off that night. There wasn't enough drugs in the world for her to get over it. She literally fired that coach in a heartbeat. I don't even know who the hell the head coach was because it was 7 years ago that happened. And that was with mediocre quarterback play. It took them 7 years to finally admit to move on from Cutler. They legit told Cutler, we tried with you for 7 years. We're not going to do it anymore. And that's what Pace did. He cut Jay Cutler right after the 2017 season. Right after the 2016 season, he immediately moved on from Cutler. Brian Hoyer did better than Jay Cutler did that 2026 season. Even Matt Barkley did better than Jay Cutler. And they moved on from Cutler. And as much as I can't disrespect the dude's legacy, Cutler was good for only a good partial of the Bears. He only did good for like 2 years. He did good for 2 years, and he ended up as a bum. What's the difference? What we hear from Bears fans about Cutler is rarely a lot. I don't know why we don't keep this energy. We didn't keep this energy with Cutler. Now that we have with Mitch, I wish we would have had that same energy. Because now they're being like me for 7 years, suffering and having mediocre quarterback play for 7 years, seeing our great defensive with Brian Urlacher and good parts of the defense and Zach Miller talent getting wasted, because Cutler couldn't move the ball downfield. And Alshon Jeffrey had a terrible year with the Bears. And now he's won a Super Bowl with the Philadelphia Eagles. I understand he's getting old right now, but I still feel bad because his talent was wasted by Jay Cutler. And Brandon Marshall's talent was also wasted by Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler was the reason Brandon Marshall got traded. Didn't Brandon Marshall get traded to the Seahawks because he was a locker room cancer? He was a locker room problem, and he cursed out Jay Cutler most of the time. So did Brian Urlacher. But because Brian Urlacher decided to retire after the 2014 season. I don't know. He retired and was in the Hall of Fame. What bothers me is this. Did you not see Khalil Mack? He was most in quarterback pressures behind Joey Bosa and some other random dude I have never heard about. So what bothers me is this. I have no problem speaking my mind out to the public. I don't have a manager on YouTube to tell me what to say and what to do. So what ESPN is being told to report on is some biased stuff. I'm not those people. I'm not afraid to speak the truth about some organization. I can do it how many times I want. I'm not gonna listen to crying fans like Mini 14. You want your opinion. You want me to admit that the Packers are gonna somehow take the heart and soul out of the Lions tomorrow. You want that line, go to ESPN. I'm pretty sure Stephen A. Smith is a fan, because I called Stephen A. Smith a fanboy once of Aaron Rodgers. Go listen to him, and probably y'all want to think he's more right than me. I'm not afraid to speak my mind out, because I'm speaking to my people that are on Instagram who follow me and enjoy my content. I get every single like on a meme. I follow many media platforms, many meme platforms. I saw one meme. It was some engagement ceremony. I don't know if you all know what an engagement ceremony is, but if you don't, most likely y'all know what an engagement is. But if you don't know, it's when you get on your knees and you say, "Will you marry me? Will you marry me?" But I don't know why that was recorded. If I ever did an engagement, I would have done it. I would have not done it on the boat. I would have not say, oh, if I wanted to engage with somebody, I would want to do it behind closed doors because I don't want everybody to make fun of me. I don't need the congratulations. I would want to do it behind closed doors. If I did, then congrats. If I ever did, then congratulations. It's very good to have media people saying, "Oh, congratulations, you're gonna have a wife now," but nah, I'm not like that. I like to do it behind closed doors. Whenever I'm sad, I do it behind closed doors. I don't reveal it to the public like many you all do. But let me get to the engagement. Me. So eventually I thought it was real. I thought that it wasn't staged. So check this out, y'all. On a boat where he was getting on his knees, and it said in the caption, "If you ask Mitch to help you do a proposal." So and you're like, what does that have to do with anything? What does that have to do with Mitch? So that was what I was like. So if you look at that video, which I thought it was real at first, but I eventually found out it was staged. They got the engagement ring back when it went in the ocean. And somebody threw the engagement ring and it went over the heads of the girl and the guy and it went in the ocean. They eventually found it and there was no ring. It was staged. So there was really no engagement. Maybe there was, but it was staged. I've seen more memes of Mitch Trubisky than I do with Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield has Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham and Austin Hooper, and yet still can't do anything with it. Baker Mayfield had a worse performance than Mitch. Baker Mayfield had a worse 2019 season than Mitch. The only difference is Baker. The reason why Baker is not going to leave anytime soon, the reason why Baker will probably not leave till his like 4th year is they drafted him. The Browns went 0-16 for him. That was all they did. There were many times where they had the first overall pick, or they were in the top 10. But I'm not talking about, okay. What did we address this offseason? What do we need to do this offseason? We need to get a tight end that can prosper, because the only tight end that led in receiving was J.P. Holtz. And the only one that caught a touchdown was Ben Brodiker and Jesper Horston. So let me put it to you this way. Did we address that situation? Yes, we did. We got a red zone weapon, a 9-time Pro Bowler, Jimmy Graham. Did he look bad in Green Bay? Yeah, but seeing him Sunday is something that Green Bay would have never tried with Jimmy Graham. And we're going to see lots of red zone touchdowns by Jimmy Graham. And we drafted Cole Clement, which he was a stud in college. He's not only good in receiving, he's good at blocking. So he's not only a good tight end, he's a good blocker. Question is, do we need a number 3? We need a number 3 wide receiver. Darnell Mooney answered that question. He had 3 catches and he broke some ankles. Does Ted Ginn look terrible? Yeah, but it's the first week. I'm not gonna say Ted. We need to cut him. We need to bench him. But we gotta have some pride. Ted Ginn is still a speedy wide receiver. He's still that speed route runner he was in the Olympics. Did you know he was actually he would have been in the Olympics, but he chose not to, and he beat somebody named Bolt in high school. I don't know who he beat in high school in a track race, but he's still fast. He still can go down. He can still go down the field and catch the ball. But it was disappointing when I didn't see him catch like lots of balls. But it looks like Darnell Mooney's going to look like is a possible wide receiver option if Ted Ginn doesn't work out. Do we need to have a pass rusher, or do we have to cut Leonard Floyd? We answered, we cut Leonard Floyd because he wasn't the pass rusher the Bears wanted him to be. And who did we sign? Robert Quinn. We signed Robert Quinn, which he was mostly double teamed last year and still had double-digit sacks. And seeing him in the lineup with Khalil Mack and King Hicks, the 3-man rule was active. Do we have a CB? We got rid of the corpse of Prince Amukamara. We replaced him with Jalen Johnson, a stud pick from Utah. That had 6 deflections last game at Detroit. Do we have a good offensive line? We hired somebody from the Andy Reid tree, which has experience. And the offensive line looked pretty solid. They only gave up 1 sack the Lions game. They only gave up 1 sack. So that's all I'm going to say. The line looks pretty decent to me. Does the play calling need to be better? Yes, it does. And how did we answer that? We ran the ball. We actually had a very good run game against the Lions. We did, with Cohen, Patterson, and Montgomery. Because my whole thing is this. We will be fine. We will be fine. And plus, who do we have as the second safety? We didn't want to rely on Deon Bush. Because Deon Bush is kind of, I love Deion Bush. You know, I saw him in highlights of the preseason. I feel like Chip Pagano was really working the guy. And who do we replace Ha Clinton Dix with? We replaced him with Travis Gibson, who got cut from Bill O'Brien. I don't know. I saw lots of Texans fans upset that happened. Now that's happened. What's the problem? Because they seem to think everything is fine, but the quarterback. The quarterback looked good last Sunday. Will he look confident against the Giants? I did predict him to have a very good game, to have 4 touchdowns and have one of them run. One of those touchdowns, he's going to run himself into the end zone. Now, y'all know Al Robinson got pissed off, and sometimes when you get pissed off, you have that's a mindset of greatness. So Al Robinson's going to prove that he's 18 million, guaranteed. So anyway, I wanted to get this out to you. I'm staying up, talking to you like I always have and always will be. I don't need to listen to some random person, Mini14, reacting to my videos and saying how bad it stinks. It stinks that it needs to go to the toilet. All my football stuff, my football opinions needs to go down the toilet. And I should just stick to my no commentary horror gameplays. I'm not gonna listen because I don't have YouTube's a whole platform. You don't have to listen to my content. No one has a gun to your head and saying, watch this or I'm gonna or the bullet's gonna go through your skull. No one is doing that. You can click on any other podcast and see what they have that I don't. Because I'm not afraid to speak my mind. I don't care if you like my content. I don't even care if you dislike it. You can give me 1,000 dislikes. I do not care. Because if I'm right, I'm going to go back and laugh at it. Because y'all seem to think I care. I don't care. I don't even know why there is a like and dislike ratio on YouTube. It's probably because there's more money. I have 41 subscribers. I don't need a huge platform of subscribers to make me popular. It will take me, I don't care if it takes me to the grave to get 1 freaking million subscribers. I don't even care if I died right now and still have 41 subs. It's I didn't create a YouTube channel only to just get attention. I did it to speak my mind out like others. That's what I do. That's how I do. Did I know that there was going to be people that disliked my content? Yeah. Yeah. Many YouTubers have went on. How many times have you seen a YouTuber that get no hate from somebody? Most likely every single. Remember when Logan Paul posted that video of that dead body and it got taken down by YouTube? It got reported many times. Lots of people lost respect for Logan Paul, including me, because I thought Logan Paul was an actual cool dude. Many people have actually looked up to Logan Paul, but seeing that video, it changed his entire life. I will never do that. if there's a dead body, God forbid, if there ever was a dead body and I'm doing a vlog, I'm not going to record it. I'm going to call the cops behind closed doors. I don't need to film it. I don't need the whole world to know what I'm doing. I might do a post reaction what I thought, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it live. I want to do it behind closed doors. Am I going to get in trouble for it? Yeah. Like, why am I video logging a person's dead body? If there ever was a dead body, I turn off the camera and do a video log in my own room. In my own room where there's no dead body. There is no dead body. The only thing I'm ever going to do is report it behind closed doors. I'm not those people. That's why I say if I'm ever going to do a proposal to a girlfriend, I'm not going to do it live. I'm going to do it behind closed doors. Would it be nice if I got attention? Yeah. I think everybody would love to have good attention, but me personally, I don't want to have that. I don't want to have that. I do it behind closed doors. I'm not active on Facebook most of the time because most of the time I'm on Facebook because you all know, rarely anybody knows that I have a Facebook, but I rarely use it. I'm more on Instagram than I'm on Facebook. Facebook is where I'm more close to my family. I'm more close to my familia. I even follow my family tree. I follow some of my teachers I had. I followed them, and that's the more close I got to them. But I don't use it now because I don't want to have a whole life where I just talk to my familia all the time. I want to talk to some people that I want to be friends with. I don't care if you like the content. I don't care if you love it, but I'm going to say this shit. And it's rather for you to believe it or not. No one has a gun to your head and saying, watch my content. If it is happening to you, then you should say, you know what, you're not going to listen to me. If you're going to put in a bullet in my head, because here's the thing. If somebody says they're going to shoot you and they don't do it, the first time you'd be like, okay, calm down. And if I'm going to shoot you, I'm going to shoot you, and they keep saying it, and the more times they say it, they're going to be like, and the person that you want to shoot is going to be like, yeah, go ahead and do it. I think you're bluffing. That's how we do here. YouTube's a whole platform. You don't have to listen to me. You don't have to listen to my content. With the Windy City guys saying, you all want to say I have nobody supporting me, that I'm pretty much the only person, I'm the only person alone and I have nobody to defend me, which I don't need anybody to defend me. I don't need anybody to defend my valid points. I did a podcast a month ago, 2 months ago with the Windy City. He didn't have to. I didn't have to pay him. It's right of your choice. I didn't have to pay him. I asked him nicely if he would love to come on. He didn't have to. I could have just done a whole different video myself, but he chose to. He didn't have to. I didn't pay him a single buck. I didn't even pay him a penny, and he still took his time and did a video with me. And that's impressive. You know, anyway, I'm going to go to bed in a few minutes. I don't know if there's an NBA game on tonight, but anyway, that's it. That's all for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed this long session. This is probably my long session video I ever did in a long time, but anyway, that's it. That's all for today's video. Go subscribe if you're new, and always stay safe from this coronavirus and bear down.